first 2 weeks of the Trump administration, and war has broken out between the holdover leadership from the Biden administration of the FBI and the Trump Department of Justice. Grab a big tub of popcorn, because it is now, and it's led to 2 separate federal lawsuits being filed against the Department of Justice and against Donald Trump. As we watch him duke it out, we've got acting FBI directors who are telling the Department of Justice, led at times by Emile Beauvais, Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer, just telling Emile Beauvais to go F off. We're not going to give you a list. We're not going to let you do a mole hunt. We're not going to let you go fire all of the FBI and leave America unsafe. I cover it all on a new podcast we call Popok Live. Take a listen. We're already seeing rebellion within the already breaking out like a firefight. In one of the cases I'm going to talk about tonight, the FBI and current members of the FBI are suing the Department of Justice and Donald Trump over their efforts to purge the FBI of anybody that touched anything related to Jan 6th, which is illegal, obviously. You've got the acting director of the FBI. I did a whole hot take on this one, who basically told the Department of Justice and Emile Beauvais, who used to be Donald Trump's lead criminal lawyer. You know, we don't hear a lot about Todd Blanche. What happened to Todd Blanche? Well, anyway, Emile Beauvais, as an acting whatever he's doing, he's writing all sorts of letters demanding all sorts of information about FBI agents to fire them, while Kash Patel tells the Senate and lies to them and says, I have no intent to use firings as political retribution. Bullshit. It's going on right now. So the acting director of the FBI, who used to work in the Newark, New Jersey, shout out to New Jersey, field office, told the Department of Justice and Emile Beauvais and people that showed up there to F off, to legal AF off, that he was not going to turn over the list. Now, they turned over a list finally today, but it was a list by badge number and by position, not giving the names, which because there's a new lawsuit filed by FBI agents anonymously, Jane and John Doe, or Agent Jane and John Doe, against Emile Beauvais and the Department of Justice, because again, FBI sits under the Department of Justice, to stop them from being fired, First Amendment violation, 14th Amendment violation, Administrative Procedures Act violation, and their rights of privacy. Because in one of the lawsuits, and there's not just one lawsuit, there are 2 separate lawsuits filed, back to my theme at the top of the Popok Live tonight, about flooding the zone, multiple lawsuits, different courts in the same place, 2 in the District of Columbia. By the way, you could have multiple cases filed in the same courthouse on the same floor. I've been involved with cases, one judge 3 doors down handling one case exactly the same as my case. 2 different orders come out. Sometimes they overlap. Sometimes there's a distinction that has to be resolved by the appellate court. So 2 different cases filed. In one, they reproduced, I'll do a hot take on it for Legal AF tomorrow. They reproduced social media posts by pardoned Jan 6th insurrectionists who said, like Enrique Tarrio, who got sentenced for 22 years in prison, not because he was a Boy Scout or part of a choir, but because he led the charge to try to brain and maim members of law enforcement and try to assassinate legislators and their staff. But he got let out. He was partying in Miami the day that Donald Trump swore in. And now he's listing on his social media, because they're emboldened, that, and he has the names because he knows who his FBI agents were, that certain FBI agents by name should be prosecuted. So that's who's running Donald Trump's government now, the pardoned leaders of Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. They are now setting our policy, right? Right? The jailers are now jailed. The inmates are running the asylum. Fill in your comparison here. And so we've got the Department of Justice and the FBI duking it out. This is crazy. In broad daylight over this attempt to enforce. Welcome back. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch Network for Popok Live. I sit at the intersection of law, politics, world affairs, pop culture, you name it. I cover it all in a very, very neat package of about an hour. We've got over 500,000 people a week now who have found the show, and I'm humbled by it. I work hard to bring you the best commentary and analysis you can find on YouTube. Popok Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and everywhere else that you can pick up your podcast from. So if you like what's going on Legal AF, hit the free subscribe button. Join me on Popok Live. And then we've got Legal AF, the OG podcast at the intersection of law and politics, only on the Midas Touch Network. So until my next Legal AF report, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.